This broadcast will be taking you to a chili contest. It looks like an interesting evening, so we invite you to stay tuned. Recently, the North Winter Haven Rotary Club sponsored an Anything Goes chili contest at the Garden Center on 3rd Street Northwest. Admission was free. Chili of any variety was permitted. 1 gallon of finished chili was prepared for judging by each team, and each team could have up to 5 members. When the judging was over, first place went to Dave Collins, second place to Sandy Vanderhayden, third place to the Winter Haven Fire Department for their 4-alarm chili, and fourth place was awarded to Andy Hodges. Chairman of this event was Jerry Vanderhayden, and we talked with him. Tell us how this came about in the first place.
Well, I'm with the Winter Haven North-Rotary, and we have weekly meetings, and also at the meetings we have programs. And a lady from Planned Parenthood, Miss Virginia Miller, talked with us about the Planned Parenthood organization, and so the Board of Directors elected to do a fundraising project for Planned Parenthood, and this is pretty much how it came about. We discussed what we wanted to do. This is a first-time event for us, and we had a pretty good turnout, and we were pretty happy with it. We pretty much decided as a board to elect to do this chili cook-off.
Let me ask you this, if I may. How many participants were involved in today's cook-off?
7 participants.
And out of those 7, you had 4 winners, I understand?
Yes. We had first, second, third, and fourth place.
And what did the winners receive?
The winner received paid entry into the International Chili Society being held at the Cypress Gardens here in, I believe, 2 weeks.
And I understand one of the judges is a former winner of the state contest. Who is he?
Mr. Richard Roll is the former state champion of last year from the Cypress Gardens event they had out there, and we asked him for his expertise since this was the first time we have done this, and he judged with Representative Rick Dantzler and Billy Ellis from the News Chief here.
Now, have you yourself had some of the chili here today?
Oh, yes.
How much have you had?
Too much, I think.
Right now we're talking with Walt Ferguson. He's president of the North Winter Haven Rotary Club, and I understand you're pleased with the turnout today?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. We had some good chili, too.
And you yourself had some of this, did you?
Oh, yes. I went around and tried every bit of it. My mouth was burning when I got through, especially from the 4-alarm chili that our friends from the fire department cooked.
I think there's some sort of message in that the fire department is cooking chili, because chili is hot stuff, or can be, can it?
Right, right. Well, we had a good turnout, and our contestants had a lot of fun, and that's the name of the game. Of course, we're in this today as our annual fundraiser, as our community service project for our Rotary Club, and we're doing this year for the benefit of Planned Parenthood of Polk County.
Can you give me some idea of what other services you provide to the community from time to time in your fundraisers?
Well, we've done a lot of different things, Dan. We have, now last year we had an auction, and we try to do something different every year. And that's basically what this is all about. Now, we're probably going to repeat this chili contest. This was a lot of fun, and it's a family-oriented thing, and everybody that's been here today has thoroughly enjoyed it.
And what is coming up next? Do you have something planned as your next event, or haven't you gotten that far along yet?
Well, I'll tell you, Dan, my term of office is over on June 30th, and Jeff Wood and his board for next year will have to worry about that.
Okay, thank you so much, Walt. Standing next to me now is the winner of this event, Mr. Dave Collins, and I see you even came dressed, complete
for this production. I certainly enjoyed it. We've had a good time this morning, and of course I was the winner, and it was all for a good cause. The club that put it together hopes that next year they'll have a little more participation. We had several entries this morning, and I've tasted everyone's chili, and I find that it's all outstanding.
How long have you personally had a recipe for chili?
Well, I've been a cook for a long time. My dad was in the restaurant business in Alabama, so I've cooked most of my life, and that's been about 40 years.
Okay, fair enough. And are you the type of cook that might reveal some of the secret ingredients in your recipe, or is that a secret?
As a matter of fact, I have it printed right here, and I'll be glad to give you a copy of it. But I think the chorizo was probably the winning ingredient.
Okay, and what is that exactly?
Well, that is the Spanish meat that you find in Spanish bean soup.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. I'll just take that. I appreciate it.
Get home and see if you like it.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
good talking with you.
We want to give you fair warning right now that at the end of this program, we will be giving you the winning recipe in this chili contest by Dave Collins. So make sure you have paper and pen handy so that you can jot down this recipe at the end of tonight's show. Now we have the pleasure of speaking with Dick Rule, one of the judges in this chili contest. Was it a hard decision to come up with a winner today?
It was very hard. They had some good chili here. I'm glad there weren't any more contestants than there were.
Now, give our viewers a little past history about your involvement in chili previous to this. I understand you are a champion yourself?
Well, I'm last year's Florida State champion. We started cooking chili about 5 years ago in Texas. That's where we learned. And we've been in competition ever since. And not only as participants, but as judges and organizers.
How many people across the nation get involved in chili contests? You hear a lot of publicity about them. Any idea on the total number of contests nationwide?
I don't have any idea of the total number, but it numbers in the low millions, I know. The International Chili Society has a couple hundred or a couple of million members.
And you always hear about it in relation to Texas. Would you say they have more contests there than any other state?
Probably so. On any given weekend, you can probably find a half dozen chili cook-offs around the state or more between the months of February and November.
From time to time, do you check or maybe even change ingredients in your particular recipe as you enter different contests, or do you always stick to a basic recipe?
Well, if we were in Texas, we'd probably adjust it a little bit from region to region. The southern part of Texas seems to like their chili a little bit hotter and a little bit darker. And San Antonio seems to prefer a little bit more garlic, and eastern Texas, in the Houston area, they seem to prefer it a little bit sweeter with more tomatoes in it.
And what do they prefer in Florida?
They prefer just about anything in Florida. I've seen mushrooms, celery. I've even seen corn and potatoes in chili here at the State Fair a few weeks ago. I saw some chili with corn and potatoes in it. It's interesting.
Is there anything unusual that you yourself use that you'd care to reveal?
No, I don't usually put anything unusual in my chili. I've been thinking of trying some of these Florida ingredients since now naturally we're residents here. Mm-hmm. But generally I use the standard chili recipe. There really aren't any secrets. The secret to chili cooking and winning the judges' favor is the amount and the proportions of the various spices that you use.
Now, I hate to use anything this crass as just a store example, but you can always see these cans, chili with beans and chili without beans. Do most people use beans or not in these contests?
In an official contest, beans are considered a filler, and the rules say that no fillers are allowed. The majority of the people in the world probably use beans in their chili, and we do at home.
Thank you so much, Dick Rule. It's time now to give you the recipe, as promised, for Dave Collins' prize-winning chili. Here it is. First of all, 1 1/2 pounds of ground beef, then 1/2 pound of cured chorizo. That, Dave Collins says, is what he thinks won the contest for him and is the secret to this particular recipe. Also, you add 4 medium onions chopped, 3 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 cloves of garlic chopped, 1 can of tomato paste, 18 ounces, 2 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 whole jalapeno peppers, and 1 can of chili beans is optional. As was pointed out in the interview with the judge earlier in the program, chili beans in a contest are considered filler and are not allowed in a contest, but you can use them if you want to. Then you want to brown the beef, add the chopped chorizo and onion, cook until the onions wilt. Add all the other ingredients except beans and cook over medium heat for 30 minutes. You want to stir to avoid sticking. Add the beans if desired and warm another 10 minutes. Remove and discard the whole jalapeno peppers And all of this makes about 1/2 gallon of what Dave Collins calls his Texas chili. Now, if you didn't get the recipe just now, you can phone Dave Collins at Village Realty at 299-6767. If you did get the recipe, make yourself some, and you'll be in for a treat. Well, that's our show for this evening. I'm going to try the winter's chili here and see what happens. I hope I don't catch on fire.
We're watching for flames as they come out of your
My
ear.
goodness. That's excellent. That's better than you can buy in the store. I'll tell you
great,
that.
great.
You're probably hoping to hear that, weren't you?
Yeah, well, let's let everybody try some.
Okay. I'm your host, Dan Hogan, for Centel Spotlight. We certainly hope you enjoyed our visit here at the Chili Contest, the first annual one put on by the North-Winter Haven Rotary Club. Have a nice evening. We'll see you here again next week at the same time, as they say in television, on the same channel, local cable channel 8. Have a good evening.
Good night and goodbye.
That is good,
Yeah,
Dave.
not bad, not bad.
Very
huh?
good.